Hey, good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to show you a couple of things. This is part of this project, this renovation project I've been working on. This is one of the drawers to my dresser set that I've actually already painted. And this is all just primer. I didn't actually paint it with the country white because number one, most of the time it's inside, but number two, we're actually going to be lining this. But that's going to be the second part to the video. The first part is I'm going to show you how to install new drawer slider systems. I use the ball bearing ones. You can find them in the hardware store, usually in the cabinetry section. And there's a couple of manufacturers. One is Liberty, and then another one is Hickory. Regardless, it doesn't matter which one you get. It's really the same exact system, the same exact ball bearing slider system. So what I've done first is I've actually removed the old system, which was pretty flawed. It was actually a wooden one. This piece right here actually went inside of the actual dresser itself. And then the second part to it, which I've already removed, is this piece right here. So this actually used to be attached here. It was actually glued down and then kind of nailed in or stapled in. As you can see, it's made from wood, and so there's not a lot of strength behind it. And so that's why this right here happened. Of course, once this happens, the drawer itself, the sliding system or the sliding mechanism completely fails, and then you have a drawer that either pivots when you open it, or you have a drawer that when you pull it open, once it gets past its pivot point this way, it actually tips forward. The reason why this happens, by the way, is anytime a slider system is made from wood, when you have clothes or anything in the drawer that has weight to it, when you pull it out, that weight bears down on this and then ends up snapping it, and that can happen pretty early on. I've had this furniture for 21 years. I actually bought it in Spokane, Washington when I moved there about 21 years ago. So I've completely removed this, and so this is basically scrap wood that I use for other projects, but I'll just set that aside for now. This is the ball bearing system. It's pretty inexpensive. It's only about $10. I got this one at Menards. It's like $9.99. It comes with two tracks in it, and let's see here. Go ahead and open it up and show you what it comes with. So it's got the two tracks, and I will be using both of them for the drawer. Now you can mount these either on the side or you can mount them on the bottom. The reason why I'm not mounting them on the side is because once they're mounted on the side, there's not enough clearance in the drawer opening. So as long as you have enough clearance in the drawer opening, you can go ahead and mount them on the side. But if not, like in this case, I will be mounting them on the bottom. Now, this wood right here is like a particle, very thin laminate, almost like a particle board. So what I've done is I've actually built these prior. So these right here will actually be used to mount one half of the actual system to. So as you can see, this is really nice. It's ball bearing. It's very smooth. It's very slick, and stops right there. So that's as far as it will go. Now, when you flip it over, there's a little clip here, and and what you do, it's almost like a little. I don't know if you've ever seen a juice harp. It's kind of like one of those little thingies. So if you just depress it like this, it comes out. Okay, so these are the two parts. Now, this piece right here, and there is grease on this. All ball bearing slides have grease. So if you get messy or whatever, just make sure that you have a rag like this to get any excess grease or grease that may get on your fingers. So this piece right here will actually mount inside of the dresser. So this is what will receive the drawer. This piece right here is what's mounted to the drawer. So what I've done is I've constructed these. So these, what I'll do is glue down first, and then once they've dried, then I'll go in from the other side and actually secure them with screws. And of course, that's the second part of the video, is lining the inside of the drawer. Lining the inside of the drawer will actually hide those actual screws, and so that will keep the screws from either snagging or just plain being unsightly. So what we're going to do for now is I'm going to set these aside. And we're going to go ahead and start with the actual mounting of these right here. Oh, and by the way, these pieces right here, these are what I did. These are optional. You know, it all depends on your drawer, or your dresser rather, or whatever you're mounting it in. So I made these because these will actually go on the inside of the dresser, and they'll be glued in, and then from behind the dresser, at the back of the dresser, we'll secure it with screws, or a screw I should say, a 2-inch screw, number 6 screw. And then these right here, also this one will be secured to the front of the dresser using a number 6 1-inch screw. And I've already pre-drilled the hole for that. I didn't pre-drill for this because I'll actually drill from behind once this is glued in place. So the key, or the trick to all of this is you know, you're definitely going to perhaps need glue, but to reinforce everything, and so you don't end up with drawers that split, or you know, this that comes apart, always secure with screws. So glue, but also secure with screws, and that gives you the reinforcement that you need. So these two I'm going to set aside for the time being, and now we need to figure out where to mount these, so or glue these in on the underside of the drawer. So I've created a little template here that I use, and basically just take a pen, and because I have a total of 5 drawers that I'm doing, and so I basically am putting the mounts on the same area for each drawer. Now the other thing that I did, or that I had to do, I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but there's glue that was used to kind of put the drawer together when it was built. I did knock out some of the glue, like right here, so that this will go in flat and it will be level. And did the same thing down here. But you want everything level, you want everything, there aren't any problems with that. So, got the markers there, and then all you do is, or all I like to do, I like to draw a complete line, because I like to be able to let me line it up. You just use the actual edge of the mount. Alright, I'm not having enough of that, so let's do this. Didn't go far enough for that one, so. Alright, now we're good. And let's see here. We actually want it this way. I'm going to line it up. Okay. Alright, so then what we're going to do is take some good glue. This is a glue that I've used very often. It's a very strong glue. I kind of swear by it. It's made by Weldbond, or Weldbond, W-E-L-D-B-O-N-D. I get it, surprisingly, I actually get it at Michael's, but it's a very, it's a really good glue. It's very strong. It's very, it's relatively permanent, if you will. So I just put some down, and then a little scrap piece of wood here that I use to just kind of spread that glue out across the entire surface. This makes for a better adhesion to whatever it is you are sticking it to. You always want to make sure that you do use a good glue anytime you are doing something like this. You don't want to go with anything cheap or shoddy. Alright, this is the first one, and it's symmetric on each side, so it doesn't matter, you know, which side you go on. And then just kind of line it up here. And just apply a little bit of pressure, not a lot. and then that will, once that starts to dry a little bit, I don't want to flip it over now because I want to give it a chance to set, but once it's set, probably in about maybe 30 minutes, then I'll flip it over and then we'll actually drill from the other side. And interestingly, I use this to actually mark where I drill the holes for this. And you just kind of line that up like so, and then mark it in there. All right, so we'll do the other one. Same thing, just spread the glue out. Get rid of and again, just line this up with your edge that you marked, which is easy to see now that it's the entire, you made a line. Like so, drop that in place. Just apply a little bit of pressure. You don't want to go through the drawer. This is pretty thin. All right, so we'll let that set, and then when I come back, I'll show you how we actually mount this onto here. Now, if you've noticed real quick, I have drawn a center line down the middle, which makes lining this up and centering it a lot easier. But we will drill pilot holes for the screws, and I don't know if I showed you or not, this does come with screws. So it comes with it comes with 12 screws. So it's 3, 3, and then 3, 3 for the other piece, the receiving end. So we'll just set those aside, have those ready to go when we come back. And then after we get that in there, I'll show you how to mount the other piece on this as well. All right, see you in a bit. All right, so while that's drying, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you how to mount the other piece to this piece here, which this piece is what will actually go inside of the dresser itself. So what I've done is I've marked, I'm a big marker of things so that I know where things should go, just the way I am. So I've labeled this back, which means this will go in the back, or this end here goes in the back of the dresser, whereas this end goes in the front of the dresser, which will actually receive the drawer itself. So I've already done one, and once you do one, you can kind of use that as the template. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is mark how far the slider should actually go. So this one is labeled back, so line this one up here. Make sure it's as even as possible. They're all the same size. I measured inside of the drawer first, and that's where I did the first one. I've already done the first drawer, so this is the second drawer down. And just mark it like that. All right, so what we do is we'll go ahead and disassemble the second one. Just pull it out, flip it over, just pull that out like that. All right, so again, this is the back, this is the front. Okay, so it'll basically go something like this when it's mounted. And so this piece here is on the bottom of the drawer, which will actually slide into this and then lock into place. So that's how the drawer opens and closes. So just make sure all your pieces are in the correct direction. And then what you do is you just line it up with that mark that you made. And then, as I mentioned before, I did draw a center line down, and that helps to center this. And the other thing too is that these pieces underneath, these pieces right here, also serve to receive the screw that will go down because this is only a 1/4 inch, and the screws are a little bit longer, and I don't like the screws poking through because in there that's not very safe. So that's the purpose for these as well, is they will actually receive or help hold the screw. So what I do is just take my pen, and you'll have to open or slide this out to get to the screw holes. There are several screw holes, as you can see. And so I'm just going to use 3 of them. So once you line it up and find the one, so we're going to use these 2 here. So I'm just going to put a little dash, and then also going to use this one right here. So a little mark there. And then go ahead and do the same for your other one. Make sure it's, yep, that's the back. Just line it up. So, same thing. Use that one. This one. And finally, this one. Set that aside and go here, drill here, and then just drill your pilot holes. Alright, and then you just take this and then just look for your holes. Now, when you are putting these in, don't use a drill to drill these in. Always, when you're working with small screws like this and small parts, always hand screw them in rather than using a drill, because if you use a drill, sometimes it's too much force, and then that can end up, or you can end up splitting your wood. And just tighten everything, make sure everything's tightened. And we're good to go. And then I'll go ahead and finish this one. And then when we come back, I'll show you how to attach these to the underside of the drawer, and then what we'll do is flip the drawer and then drill the pilot holes and then secure that piece that we glued on with actual screws. And then that will complete the installation of the actual slider system with the drawer and the preparation for this. This just simply goes into the dresser itself. So for the second part of the video, I'll show you how to actually line the inside of that drawer with some specialty paper. All right, see you in a bit. All right, so I finished the mounts that go inside of the actual dresser itself. So these are what these will actually receive the drawer, but these are actually stationary, and then these other mounts here actually mount onto the bottom of the drawer. So that's what we're going to do now. What I did do is I did go ahead and secure those mounts underneath with some screws, a couple of screws, or 4 screws rather, and I did countersink them so they are flush with the surface. But like I said, we are going to be lining this drawer, so you won't see them anyway. But it's important that they are flush. You don't want them protruding, because you don't want them to protrude through the paper that we're going to use to line this with. So all we have left to do with this drawer is to flip it over and then mount the actual, these pieces here. And by the way, this is flush. I did build this up slightly to bring it flush with the bottom of the drawer, because that is necessary. It does have to clear this has to clear in order to go into this piece, in the dresser. All right, so there's two ends to this. There's an end that has a flat piece like this, and then there's an end that's open. The end that's open has to be at the back of the drawer. So this is the back of the drawer because this is what threads into this piece right here, into specifically right here. So this piece here, we just kind of just put it pretty much flush to the front of the drawer, like so. And then, like before, we're going to mark our holes. And again, in the middle, or actually there's three areas here that are kind of raised up. And so that's where we're actually going to, I did that on purpose, to be able to accept the screw. So we're just simply going to mark our area where we're going to, or hold our servo holes here, and just mark the hole that we're going to use. All right, so then what we'll do is just drill some pilot holes for the screws. All right, so that's all 6 of our holes. And then what I do to get up the sawdust is just use some tape like that. This is what I use to pick up bugs. I don't touch bugs. I don't want them on my skin. It's good for picking up bugs. Live ones, dead ones. All right. Now we just put these on here, and again, always use, don't use a drill to drill these. All right, and that's all there is to that. So that is how you get these mounted, ready for installation for your drawers. These are ball bearing drawer sliders. They were very nice, very smooth, and they don't break or snap because they're not made from wood. Instead, they're made from metal. All right, thanks for watching.